Alright y'all, ACC Crappie Stix, Lose Speed Shooter, 1000 size. I got these gulp 1-inch alive minnows. Let's see how they do. Got a 32nd ounce jig head to a bobber, and we're fishing this pond behind me that basically is a flooded irrigation pond, a bunch of submerged veg and trees and things like that, and so it's really hard to throw a lure that goes below the surface without getting snagged. And so a really good strategy is implementing this bobber strategy, which basically floats this jig right over the top. So let's see how many casts it takes to catch one out here in February. I'm just basically casting out as far as I can and just doing a slow pop pause on the way on the retrieve. And these fish will almost always hit it on the pause. You almost never get a fish that on the pop part. Always be on the pause. There we go. What is it? A brim or a crappie? Looks like a crappie, guys. A good one. There you go, crappie. Probably about 9 inches, maybe 10. Where there's one, there should be more. Again, I'm fishing right on this dam here, and so it's winter. Water temp's probably in the 40s. Oh, I got smoked. I'm presuming that these fish are in deeper water and on structure. I know that this pond is basically a flooded irrigation pond. And so when they flooded it, they didn't clear out any of the trees. And so my guess is even though it's deeper here and there's no trees above the water, there's probably some structure underneath. And I have my bobber set so that that jig is basically not too far right above those trees down there. I have no idea how deep it is. 6, 12 feet? I have no idea. There we go. Oh, a good hit. Dang, they cleaned me off. I'm not even really popping it that hard. Letting the slack in the line do most of the work. Pretty chilly. Highs in about upper 40s today. So not warm. Oh. Dang it. Not warm by any means. These fish are still way before pre-spawn. So I have no idea where the structure is or if there's any trees down there. But assuming that because the first fish I caught was a crappie, I'm just gonna assume that there's some kind of structure down there, right? There we go, guys. Oh, this feels like a good fish. Good crappie. There we go. That's a keeper. A little bit closer today. Fish number 2. Pretty fish. Obviously it's hard to fish with slack in your line when you have wind, but I'm kind of letting it curve into the range where I want to be. So I caught one out far and one pretty close in. Not necessarily sure what that means. There we go. Another one. Oh yeah. Let's go. Another. This one feels even better. Oh yeah. There we go. Another keeper, guys. Another about 10 inches. There's just something fun about bobber fishing. Not as many snags. It's cool seeing that bobber to go down, obviously. I'm using 1-inch gulps, but I could use literally any kind of jig, probably. And just like that feeling of that bobber going under, you know, this is just so much fun. This is my favorite way to fish for crappie. No live scope. No minnows, right? Cheap, easy, and fun. Can't go wrong with that. You just can't. Oh, ooh, that's probably a brim. Look at the brim. You know it's a brim because they nibble at it. Crappie just go all the way under. Something's messing with it right now. What do I got? A little largy. There you go. Look at that dink. You want to have that cork basically above where they are. Fish feet up. So they're gonna probably hold up on a tree down there. And this bobber or jig is just gonna float basically above their heads, and they're gonna nose up to it and then hit it right on that pause. Someone's messing with it now. There we go. Another one, guys. This feels a little bit. Is this another speck? Or is it a brim? It's dogging me though. It's a big brim. Species number 3. Nice brim, guys. And so there just seems to be, they're all over just all over out there. Everywhere I've casted, I basically got a bite. Oh, I'm having the wind pushing my line. There we go, another one, guys. Oh yeah. That's a speck. Oh yeah. Another one, guys. A little bit smaller, about 8 inches, 7 inches. We still got the same pitiful gulp on. We're about to switch it out though. ACC Crappie Stix with basically a Walmart bobber and a gulp. Can't beat that, guys. Cannot beat that. Alright, y'all. Back out here for a little bit. It's really windy, so we might not catch anything at all, but I need to get some energy out. Let's see if we can get some fish. It also rained all day yesterday. I mean, not a significant amount of rain, but enough to probably like change this bite up quite a bit. So let's see how we do. I got about an hour. Well, I got a bite on the first cast, so that's a good thing, I guess. A lot of big bluegill in this pond, and they will go after jigs too. And typically when I go speckled perch fishing or crappie fishing, I don't have to deal with them, right? You're on the crappie, you're catching crappie. You rarely ever catch bluegill, but that is not the case. There's some huge bluegill in this pond. Monster bluegill. And you know, this is a dammed up pond. This is not a naturally occurring pond, and you can hear the water outflow over there. Somewhere along the left-hand side of this pond here is the natural creek, and they're probably holed up in that deeper moving water. Not a very good cast. And a lot of people think there's not a lot of bobber fishing, but really paying attention to the body language of that bobber is absolutely critical to setting the hook appropriately, especially like in regards to your depth. You know, if that bobber's going sideways or turning up on its side, it means you probably have a fish on. And what that means is you probably have the bobber set too deep. You want that bobber to be going under the water when they nibble. And so if you see it floating up on its side or going across the top of the water, that means they're still hitting it, but it's not really at a level where you're going to get that deep pull on the bobber. And that kind of complements how they feed. You know, most fish they feed above them. And so if you have that bobber below their eyesight level, you're really not going to see you know, as much action. Alright, we just hooked up, guys. Of course, when I had the camera cut off. Feels like a pretty good fish. Might be a big bluegill, honestly. Yep, great big bluegill, guys. And this is what I'm talking about. A lot of brim out there today. Got him through the eye. But pretty little brim, guys. Healthy fish. Alright, guys, I think I got a crappie on. He hit it. I made my farthest cast yet. And this fish feels pretty dang good. It might be a bass. If it's it's definitely a bass. It's gotta be a bass. This thing feels pretty dang big. If this is a crappie, it's a monster. It's a bass. There you go, there's a little 1-pounder. I feel him. Got him that time, guys. Got him that time. I think he's in the bush. He was in a tree. Yep, he got me hung up. He came off. Damn. Oh, he broke my line. Dang. I got something good here, guys. Another bass? What the hell? These bass are everywhere today. I mean, my God. Honestly, that's probably what broke me off last time. Already getting hit. Just freaking smoke, guys. I'm seeing some surface activity today, though. Alright, there we go, guys. Let's get him out of there. I think it's another bass. No, it's a crappie. There we go, target species and a good one. There we go, another pretty fish. We're running out of daylight, so let's get back out there. Uh-oh. Just had another hit. Another good one, guys. We gotta get him out of there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's a bass. It's a bass. We gotta get him out. We gotta get him out. If this is a crappie or a bluegill, it's a big damn fish. Almost positive it's a... No, it's a crappie. A good one. Wow, that's a big one for here. Holy smokes. That's a big one. Wow. That's a freaking chungus. That's a big crappie, guys. That's what we're here for. Let's go. That's every bit of like maybe 13 inches. 13 inches, and look at that gut. Wow. Now that's what we came for. That's a 13-inch crappie. One more before it gets too dark. I got some ducks coming over me, and I was curious what they are. I think they're black ducks. There we go, guys. Let's get them out. That's like another really good fish, whatever it is. Not as big as the last one. Bluegill this time. Wow.